So, UFC star Sugar Sean O'Malley believes that his appearance at the UFC's White House card will not be as big as many of his other UFC appearances have been. And it's surprising because the venue is an amazing one. But at the same time, what he's saying is the truth. It is the truth. The White House card is not as big as it could have been. And there are two sides to that take. One side is we can't fully blame the UFC because they were never going to amount to the images that fans and media members drew in their heads once they first heard the UFC White House card in a sentence. But the other side to it is the UFC could have done way better than they did for this White House card. They could have easily put together Sean O'Malley versus Corey Sandhagen. There are other big, matchups that they could have made, but there are other viable issues with those, like Islam versus Ilya. There was that whole thing with Islam's hand. Kayla Harris and Amanda Nunes. I think Kayla's still injured. I don't know where she is right now on her recovery journey, but still, the UFC could have did better. They could have did better, but sadly they had this whole BS rule about having to have American fighters in each fight, and I guess they couldn't have two American fighters in the same fight because they wanted an American fighter versus a foreigner in each fight. I don't know what the exact rules are, but you can read between the lines and connect the dots or whatever and see what they were going for, and it's absolute political BS. It's political BS that actually gets in the way of putting together good fights. And it's sad to see because the UFC really did underperform in matchmaking for this card. The card, looking at it right now, is not deserving of the venue, and it's obvious. And Sean O'Malley himself sees that, as every other UFC fan and UFC media member and UFC content creator has stated. It's a card, it's a UFC card for which we all can be grateful for, but it's still not deserving of a venue as great as the White House. It's simple as that. But overall, let me know what you think.